The call came in just past 6 a.m. Dr. Madison Clark barely caught her phone on the third ring, her coffee still half made, the winter sun barely brushing the skyline of Fairbanks, Alaska. "Madison, it's Hank from Wildlife Patrol. You're going to want to see this." Hank never sounded rattled, not even when they found that bear carcass full of microplastics last spring. But now, his voice cracked with something closer to awe. "Coordinates are en route. Bring your gear, and bring someone who understands canine physiology." The connection clicked off. 10 hours later, Madison stood on the edge of a glacial ridge with her assistant Tyler Reyes, staring down at what looked like a half-buried statue. Except it wasn't a statue. Frozen solid in a thick sheath of ice was a German shepherd, perfectly preserved, its fur still thick, teeth exposed mid-snarl, eyes partially open. And the collar, it wasn't just military, it was classified. "Rex," Madison whispered. The tag read simply, Rex 71B. "Is this a prank?" Tyler asked, pulling his parka closer. "No, this is real." Madison's breath caught. She had worked with military animals before, trained dozens of K9 units, even helped retire some. But this was from a different time. She touched the edge of the ice. It steamed slightly where her glove made contact. Something about it was wrong. The depth of the glacier, the location, the condition of the body. Nothing aligned. She pulled out her satellite phone. "This is Dr. Clark. We're going to need thermal cutters, atmospheric sensors, and full forensic kits at grid Alpha Tango 12. She paused. "And I want Major David Whitmore on the line, now." Tyler looked at her. "You think it's military? I think it's black ops." Back at the temporary lab camp 2 miles down from the ridge, the conversation got darker. Major Whitmore's face appeared on the secured uplink. He was older now, retired, but his eyes still carried the weight of secrets. The second Madison showed him the picture of Rex in ice, he froze. "No," he said. "You know this dog," Madison stated. "I buried that dog." The tent went silent. "I was there when Rex was declared KIA. We had a mission in Kosovo. 2002. The vehicle exploded. No survivors. Rex included. But we just pulled him out of the ice. Fresh. No decay. Same serial ID. That's impossible." "Apparently not." Whitmore's eyes flickered. Then he leaned in close to the screen. "Was the collar intact?" "Yes." "Scan the inner clasp. Use UV." Madison grabbed the collar, held it under the portable lamp. Tiny letters glowed beneath the metal. "MK9 Ghost active." Tyler paled. "Ghost unit?" he muttered. Madison shot him a warning glance. "No one talks about that program anymore." "But it was real?" Tyler pressed. "Real enough that the files are still sealed?" Whitmore's voice turned sharp. "Shut this down. Now. Seal the site. Nobody else gets access until I'm there." "You're retired," Madison snapped. "I'm still authorized. And I'm telling you, whatever you found, you're not ready for it." The connection cut. Tyler let out a low whistle. "Are we in trouble?" "No," Madison said. "We're in something worse. We're in history someone tried to bury." That night, Madison couldn't sleep. The dog, Rex, was now stored in the thermal containment unit, ice slowly thawing under controlled conditions. Sensors monitored everything. Heart rate, muscle twitch, even electrical activity. Which shouldn't exist. But at 3:47 a.m., the monitor pinged. A spike. Then another. Then a pulse. "Tyler!" she screamed. He rushed in, hair a mess, holding a half-eaten protein bar. "It moved," she pointed. "I swear the tail moved." You mean, like reflex? No, like memory. The dog wasn't dead, not entirely. As the ice thinned around Rex's frame, Madison saw something under his foreleg. A small tattoo, barely visible. OK9 Omega unit. Whispers. Old files. She remembered reading about the Omega series back in grad school. Dogs trained not just for scent or attack, but memory retention, pattern recognition, even long-term imprint conditioning. Experimental. Illegal. And most were said to be terminated. Rex wasn't terminated. He had survived. And someone had gone to terrifying lengths to keep that a secret. Just then, the radio cracked. Static. Then Hank's voice. "You guys seeing this?" "What?" "Cameras at the ridge just picked up movement. Humanoid, no thermal signature. And it's circling your sight." Madison felt her stomach drop. She turned back to Rex. He twitched. This time, unmistakable. Not reflex. Instinct. Her voice was barely a whisper. "What the hell are you, boy?" Rex's eyes opened, and he growled, not at her, at something approaching from the dark. Tyler stared at Rex's eyes, wide with disbelief. They weren't just open. They were focused. "Madison," he whispered, backing up. "That dog is awake." Rex's gaze locked onto the tent flap. Low growl rumbling from his throat. His muscles barely twitched beneath the melting ice. "Impossible," Madison muttered. But her voice cracked. The biometric screen confirmed it. Slow but steady heartbeat. Neural activity. Not a reflex, a response. She turned to Tyler. "Suit up. Now. Someone, or something, is out there." Outside, the wind picked up. Sharp gusts clawed at the tent walls. But it wasn't the weather that made her skin crawl. It was the silence under the wind. A vacuum of sound. The kind that warned predators were near. Hank's voice burst through the radio. "Movement confirmed. 5 figures. No heat signatures. They're at the perimeter." Madison froze. 5? "They're armed, military grade, moving like they've trained for this." She spun toward the containment unit. "Tyler, override the Thor protocol. We need Rex mobile. He's the only asset here that might survive what's coming." "You want to wake him up?" Tyler gaped. "He just came out of a damn glacier. I want him functional. Now!" Tyler swore under his breath and punched in the commands. The heater vents glowed brighter. Steam hissed around the dog's form. Rex didn't flinch. Then he moved. One leg, then another. His paws thumped softly on the platform. Water dripped from his coat, but his stance was sharp. Alert. Trained. He turned to Madison and nodded. "Swear to God," Tyler later said, "it was a nod." The lights cut out. Every panel in the lab tent blinked off. Only emergency red kicked on. The backup generator buzzed. "EMP?" Tyler gasped. "No." Madison grabbed a sidearm from her pack. "Too small scale. This is precise. Tactical." Rex let out a low bark, then snarled at the wall. A second later, gunfire ripped through the canvas. Pop, pop, pop. Silencers. Madison hit the floor. Tyler flipped a table. Rex launched, through the tent flap like a bullet. A scream followed, then another. A body hit the snow. Rex came back bloody muzzled, eyes still locked on the dark. "They're here," Madison breathed. Hank's voice again, more static now. "We're falling back to Ridge Point. You've got about 90 seconds before they overrun that position. Madison, get out!" "I'm not leaving him," she said. Rex stood beside her, hackles raised, tail stiff. More bullets tore through the tent. Tyler yelped as a round grazed his arm. Madison dragged him behind the heater console. "Who the hell are they?" he gasped. "I have one guess." she said. Ghost unit. Wasn't that shut down? Apparently not. They needed cover. Fast. She grabbed the dog's collar, still warm from his body now, and whispered, Rex, find exit. Go. Rex blinked once, then bolted through the rear wall of the tent, tearing through like tissue. Madison and Tyler followed. Behind them, the lab exploded. A precision detonation. Clean. Professional. They sprinted into the darkness, snow blinding in every direction. The only guide was Rex, who never slowed, never hesitated, as if he remembered this terrain, which made no sense. Tyler shouted over the wind, Where the hell is he taking us? Madison didn't answer. She was watching Rex's ears. He wasn't just running, he was listening, calculating. And then he stopped, right at the edge of a ravine. Below, half buried in snow and ice, was a structure. Metal, faded, camouflaged. An old military bunker, Tyler said, panting. No way it's still active. But the door opened, automatically. Rex walked in first. Madison followed, gun still drawn. Inside was warmth, light, power. Screens lit up. Fluorescent strips hummed to life. Tyler's jaw dropped. Someone's been maintaining this. A voice crackled through the overhead speakers. Cold. Metallic. Welcome back, Rex. Madison froze. Who said that? The voice didn't answer. Instead, a screen flickered on. Surveillance footage from 20 years ago. A training field. Rex as a young dog, running drills, taking down targets. Then, a blast. A mission gone wrong. And the camera panned to a soldier, body limp, Rex standing over him, refusing to leave. Blood on the snow. Madison felt her heart sink. Is that... The screen cut out. Then another came on. A medical bay. Rex inside a pod. Monitors reading vitals. Scientists surrounding him. He was never dead, she whispered. He was frozen on purpose. Tyler looked sick. Why would they do that? Because he knew something. Suddenly, behind them, a hiss. Another door opened. Footsteps. 5 of them, same formation Hank described. But these weren't strangers. They wore the same insignia on their gear. OK9. One stepped forward, took off his mask. Madison's blood ran cold. David Whitmore, she gasped. He smiled. You weren't supposed to dig that deep. Rex growled, stepped between them. Whitmore stared at him. Still loyal, still dangerous. He raised a pistol. Rex didn't flinch. Madison lifted her own weapon. Try it, and I swear to God. Whitmore laughed. You really don't get it, do you? That dog's not a relic. He's the last proof of everything we buried. What did you do? She asked. We made something perfect, and then we realized we couldn't control it. His eyes flicked to Rex. So we froze him, locked away the truth. But now that you woke him up, Rex lunged, and everything went black. Rex hit Whitmore square in the chest before the man could squeeze the trigger. The two crashed into a control panel. Sparks flew. Madison dove for cover, dragging Tyler behind a reinforced cabinet. Bullets ricocheted across the walls. The rest of the strike team opened fire, but Rex moved like lightning, zigzagging, unpredictable, impossibly fast for a creature thawed just hours ago. One attacker fell screaming, throat torn. Holy hell! Tyler whispered, trembling. That's not a dog. That's a weapon. No. Madison said, heart hammering. That's loyalty. She peeked out. Rex now stood over Whitmore, teeth bared. Blood trickled from a gash across his snout, but he didn't back down. "Stand down!" a voice shouted. It wasn't Whitmore. It came from the hallway. Another figure appeared, full black tactical gear, but this one had no insignia. "Rex!" the figure barked, and Rex froze. Recognition. The figure pulled off the helmet. An older man, weathered, steel-grey eyes. "Commander Harris," Madison breathed. She'd seen the name on declassified files. Dead, supposedly, in 2012. Harris walked slowly forward, hands up. "He won't attack," he told the others. "You trained him better than that, didn't you, Rex?" Rex gave a low growl, but stayed still, watching. Whitmore coughed, trying to rise. Harris didn't look at him. "You screwed this up, David." "We had no choice," Whitmore spat. "You know what he saw. What they all saw." Harris turned to Madison. "Rex's final mission wasn't a failure. It was a setup." Madison frowned. "A setup by who?" Harris looked down. "The very people who created him." Silence. Tyler whispered, "What does that mean?" Harris gestured to the wall. "Look." Another screen blinked on. A hidden file. Time-stamped December 1979. Grainy footage appeared. Inside a lab. A surgical room. Several German shepherds lay on tables. Still. Tubes in their spines, electrodes across their skulls. Scientists moved around them, attaching equipment. Talking rapidly. The video panned to a monitor showing brain scans. Real-time neural mapping. Lines spiked violently as one dog's heart rate surged. Suddenly, it sat up. Not naturally. Like a puppet. Controlled. "What the hell is this?" Madison whispered. "Neurosync," Harris said. They were trying to merge canine and human consciousness. Transfer memories, instinct, combat experience. Make dogs that don't just obey, but predict. Tyler backed away. "That's insane." "Rex was the only success," Harris said, "and the only survivor." The screen shifted. Rex, young, alert, navigated a simulated battlefield. Soldiers barked commands. He didn't just follow orders. He adapted, took cover, outflanked, protected. They wanted to mass-produce him. Harris continued. But the process, it failed. Every subject after Rex broke down, violently. So they buried the program, Madison muttered. "Froze him. Hid the truth." Harris nodded. "Until someone got greedy again." Whitmore groaned. "We needed him. You don't understand. He's proof. He's worth billions. Defense contracts. AI integration." "You were willing to kill for that?" Tyler said. Whitmore laughed bitterly. "We've all killed for less." Suddenly alarms blared. Red strobes flashed overhead. "More incoming," Harris said. "They're not ours, and they're not friendly." "Who are they?" Madison asked. "Private contractors, cleanup crew. If Whitmore didn't report in, they come to erase everything." Tyler looked terrified. "We're trapped." "No," Harris said. "There's another way." He motioned to a vault door behind the control room. "That leads to a tunnel system, built during the Cold War. We can get out, but we'll need Rex." Rex stepped forward, sniffing Harris's hand once, then looking to Madison, awaiting her decision. "Let's go," she said. Rex led the way. They moved fast through the vault, sealing it behind them. Dim emergency lights lit their path. Tyler huffed, trying to keep up. "I still don't get it," he said. "Why Rex? Why not just start over?" "Because they tried," Harris answered. "But they couldn't replicate his empathy, his bond. He's not just a weapon, he's a guardian. That's what made him dangerous. A distant explosion shook the tunnel. Dust rained from the ceiling. Madison turned to Harris. "Where does this lead?" "An old airstrip. If we can reach it, I have a contact who owes me a favor." Tyler muttered. "Better be one hell of a favor." Suddenly Rex stopped. He sniffed the air. Ears perked. Tail stiff. "What is it?" Madison whispered. He barked once, low, warning. Footsteps echoed ahead. Not boots. Padded. Animal-like. From the dark, a shape emerged. Another dog. Same build, same stare. Its eyes glowed faintly red. Madison gasped. "It's another one." "No," Harris said grimly. "It's the prototype." Rex snarled. The other dog mirrored him. They charged, and the tunnel erupted into chaos. The impact rattled the tunnel. Rex collided with the other dog mid-air. Flesh and metal crashed. The sound was sickening. Sparks lit up the dark as claws scraped concrete. "Move!" Harris shouted, pushing Tyler forward. Madison hesitated. "We can't leave Rex." "We won't," Harris said, but he was already pulling a side lever on the wall. "This way leads to a higher shaft. Safer ground." Behind them, the two dogs circled each other. The prototype wasn't just aggressive, it was precise, calculated. Its eyes flashed with red pulses. Artificial implants glowed beneath its skin. Rex bared his teeth, blood streaking his fur. But he didn't back down. The prototype lunged. Rex dodged, then countered with a crushing snap to the shoulder. The other dog staggered, circuitry exposed under torn muscle. Madison grabbed a fire extinguisher from the wall and sprinted back. "What are you doing?" Tyler yelled. "Even odds." She ran toward the fight, Rex now on his back, the prototype's jaws snapping inches from his throat. She swung. Metal met bone. The prototype stumbled, releasing Rex. Rex sprang up, slamming his full weight into the dog. His jaws clamped on the base of the neck. A horrible crack. The prototype collapsed. Still. Silent. Madison dropped the extinguisher, gasping. "You okay?" Rex looked at her, blood dripping from his mouth. Then, gently, he licked her wrist. "Yeah," she whispered. "You're okay." Harris reappeared, gun drawn. "We need to go. That fight wasn't quiet." They moved again, deeper into the old maintenance tunnels. The walls narrowed. Cracks showed frost leaking in. "How many more of those things are there?" Tyler asked. "Not sure," Harris answered. "But if they activated that one, someone knows Rex is awake. And now they know where we're going." They reached a junction. Two paths, both marked with old military symbols. Rex sniffed the air, chose left. They followed. 20 minutes later, the tunnel opened into a cavernous chamber. Rows of old equipment sat rusted, abandoned. Harris exhaled. "This was the forward staging base," he said. "Built in the 80s, mostly forgotten now." "I'm guessing we're not alone," Madison said. "No, but we have leverage." He walked to a dusty terminal and flipped open a hidden panel, inserted a USB. "What's that?" "Insurance." The screen flickered. An encrypted message loaded. Audio played. A voice Madison recognized. Secretary Allen. "The Rex initiative was never approved by Congress," the voice said. "If this gets out, the fallout would be catastrophic. Do what you must to contain it." Madison's jaw tightened. "So this goes all the way up?" "Further," Harris said. Allen was just the first domino. Suddenly lights flickered, then died. Power surge, footsteps echoed. Not heavy. Deliberate. 3 silhouettes stepped from the shadows. Black uniforms. No insignia. But Madison recognized one face. A woman. Blonde. Cold eyes. "Agent Cross," she said. "Hello, Madison." Cross's smile didn't reach her eyes. "You found our dog." "He's not yours." Cross raised her hand. Her agents spread out, weapons trained. Rex growled low. "We don't want to hurt you," Cross said. "We just want Rex back. That dog is a billion-dollar asset." "He's not an asset," Madison snapped. "He's a sentient being. He saved lives. He remembers everything you did to him." Cross tilted her head. "Then he should remember his handler." She whistled. The sound triggered something. Rex stiffened, his legs locked. Madison shouted, "No! Rex, fight it!" Cross stepped forward, confident. He was conditioned for obedience. Even buried under years of ice, that protocol remains. "Watch!" She gave a sharp command. Rex turned to Madison. His eyes were blank. "Rex," Madison said, voice trembling. "Don't do this. You're not a weapon. You're not theirs." For a moment, Rex stood frozen. Then, his ears twitched. He blinked, growled, turned back to Cross. Snarled. "Wrong dog," he said. The room erupted. Rex leapt. Cross screamed. Her agents opened fire. Harris ducked, grabbed Madison. "Go!" They ran, weaving through crates. Tyler lobbed a flare behind them, buying seconds. Behind them, Cross's voice howled with rage. But Rex was already gone. A shadow in the chaos. A ghost. They reached an old elevator shaft. Madison climbed in last. Hit the manual crank. "Where does this lead?" Harris panted, reloading. "Outside." The elevator jerked. Rose. As the shaft echoed with distant footsteps, Madison looked down at Rex, sitting beside her. He was bleeding, exhausted, but alert, and for the first time, truly free. Snow lashed the windshield as the truck crawled across the frozen valley. Madison gripped the wheel, eyes fixed ahead. Rex sat beside her, ears twitching with every shift of the wind. "How much farther?" Tyler asked from the back seat, voice tight with nerves. "About 8 miles to the safe house," Madison said. "If the road's still there." Harris, rifle across his lap, kept his eyes on the rearview mirror. "We won't make it that far if they're tracking us. We need to dump the truck soon." "I know a clearing near the ridge," Madison said. "We can go on foot from there." Rex let out a low, uneasy growl. "What is it, boy?" she asked. He turned, looking through the back window, then barked once. Lights. 2 black SUVs in the distance, growing larger. "They found us," Harris muttered. "Punch it." Madison floored the gas. The truck fishtailed, wheels spinning before catching on the ice. The wind howled louder, and so did the engines behind them. Rex jumped into the back seat, barking furiously. Tyler loaded a flare gun, hands shaking. "They're gaining!" Madison veered sharply, sending a cloud of snow behind them. A bullet shattered the rear window. "Now would be a good time, Tyler!" He fired the flare. A red blaze arced behind them. The lead SUV swerved. Too late. The flare hit the ice in front of it. A sharp boom. The vehicle spun out, crashing into a snowbank. "Nice shot!" Harris yelled. Rex barked in approval. But the second SUV kept coming. Suddenly the truck jolted hard. Tires lost traction. They skidded toward a frozen creek bed. "Brace!" Madison shouted. The truck slammed into a snowbank and stopped. Steam hissed from the hood. Everyone lurched forward, but no one was hurt. "Out, now!" Harris barked. They grabbed gear and bolted into the woods, Rex leading the way through knee-deep snow. Gunfire crackled behind them. trees exploded with splinters. "This way!" Madison shouted, following Rex's path. They reached a rocky slope. Above them, the entrance to an old observation cabin, half buried in snow. Harris forced the door open. "In! Move!" Inside, they barricaded the entrance with a desk. Tyler checked the windows. "We've got maybe 5 minutes. Tops." Madison knelt beside Rex. His flank was bleeding. "You're hit." Rex licked her hand, then looked at the door. "We don't have time for stitches," Harris said. Madison tore her scarf into a makeshift bandage. "Hang on, buddy." Suddenly Rex barked. Once, sharp, focused. He ran to the back wall and began pawing at the floorboards. "What's he doing?" Tyler asked. Madison helped pull the boards up. Beneath, an old trapdoor. "A basement?" Harris asked. "No, a tunnel." They could hear voices now, footsteps crunching in the snow. Rex barked again, then disappeared down the tunnel. "Follow him," Madison said. They dropped in, one by one, just as the front door exploded. The tunnel was narrow, cramped, lit only by their flashlights and Rex's sense of direction. "What is this place?" Tyler asked. "Old military comms line," Harris said. "Long abandoned, but it runs under the mountain." "Where does it come out?" "Hopefully somewhere warm." They kept moving. Behind them, distant voices echoed. Whoever was after them, they weren't giving up. They emerged into a maintenance shaft, rusted stairs leading up. At the top, a bolted steel door. Madison and Harris pushed together. It groaned open. They stepped into an abandoned train depot, dust thick in the air. Tyler collapsed on a bench. "We need a plan. We can't keep running forever." "We won't," Madison said. "We find who's funding this, who started the project. We go public. They'll kill us before that happens," Harris said. "Unless we get proof." "I know where to find it," Madison said. "The original lab, the one where Rex was created. It's still active, hidden in Denali." "How do you know that?" Tyler asked. Madison hesitated. "Because I worked there. Years ago." Silence. "You knew?" Harris asked. "Not everything. I left when I realized what they were doing, but I helped write the original AI bonding protocols. I helped create Rex." She looked at Rex. He wasn't supposed to be a weapon. He was supposed to be a partner. Rex walked to her side, leaned against her leg. "We're going back," she said. "To where it all started." Tyler stared at her. "This is crazy." "Crazy got us this far." Suddenly a sound, low, mechanical. Rex growled. Drones outside. "We've got company," Harris said. They moved again, disappearing into the service tunnels beneath the depot. Madison glanced back once, her hand on Rex's fur. "Let's finish what we started." Snow crunched underfoot as the team trekked through the abandoned access trail leading to Denali's forgotten research facility. The sky was a dull gray, heavy with more snow. Rex moved silently ahead, nose low, tail high. He knew the way. "Still can't believe you worked here," Harris muttered to Madison. She didn't answer right away. Her breath came in sharp clouds. "I was young, fresh out of MIT. They sold it as a cutting-edge behavioral program for search and rescue dogs. No one said anything about genetic augmentation." Tyler trudged behind them, rifle slung awkwardly over his shoulder. "So what changed?" "I asked too many questions. Then one day my keycard didn't work." Rex stopped suddenly. His ears shot up. "What is it?" Harris whispered. Rex growled low, then took off through the trees. "Rex!" Madison shouted. She followed without hesitation. They reached a clearing. In the center, half buried in snow, was a black drone, smoking, twisted. "Looks like one of theirs crashed," Tyler said. "No, it was shot down," Harris replied, kneeling. "Clean hit through the rotors." Rex sniffed the perimeter, then barked sharply. His body stiffened. A soft whimper came from the nearby underbrush. Everyone froze. Madison moved slowly toward the sound, brushing back branches until a boy, maybe 10 years old, barefoot, shivering, wrapped in a lab coat too big for him. "Jesus," Harris breathed. The boy flinched, eyes wide, wild. Rex stepped forward slowly, tail lowered. He let out a soft bark, gentle, almost comforting. The boy's eyes locked on him. He didn't run. "Hey," Madison said softly. "It's okay. You're safe now." "Where's your family, kid?" Tyler asked. The boy didn't answer, but he took one slow step forward, then collapsed. "Get him up," Madison ordered. They carried the boy into a nearby ranger cabin, abandoned but intact. Harris lit the fireplace. Tyler found emergency blankets. Madison checked him for injuries. "He's malnourished, frostbitten fingers, but no major trauma," she said. "He must have escaped from the lab." "Why would a kid be in there?" Harris asked. Rex paced nearby, ears flicking back toward the door. Madison looked at the boy again. "I think he's part of it," she whispered. The boy stirred. Eyes fluttered open. "Rex," he whispered. Everyone stopped. "You know the dog?" Madison asked gently. The boy nodded. "They made him, and others, but he was different. He protected us." "Us?" Tyler leaned in. "There are more like you?" The boy looked at Rex, then whispered, "They never let us out. But Rex, he escaped. They said he turned wild, dangerous." Madison's breath caught. "He didn't turn. He ran because he knew what they were doing was wrong." Suddenly Rex growled. Deep, urgent. "Someone's coming," Harris said, reaching for his rifle. Outside, an engine roared. Not a car. Heavier. Military. "Down!" Madison shouted. The wall exploded. Splinters flew. Smoke filled the air. A black-clad figure kicked through the doorway, weapon raised. Rex lunged. He hit the intruder center mass, sending them both crashing into the snow outside. More shots followed. Harris and Tyler returned fire, pushing a second wave back. Madison grabbed the boy. "We have to move!" Rex was already fighting. Quick! Calculated. He ducked under a stun baton, then bit the attacker's arm, breaking bone with a sickening snap. More boots pounded from the east. They were being flanked. "This way!" Tyler shouted, blowing open the back wall with a grenade from his launcher. Smoke and debris scattered. They ran into the woods, the boy clutched tight in Madison's arms, Rex trailing behind, limping. They didn't stop until they hit the frozen river. Madison turned to Harris. "We need to cross, now. Too thin. We'll fall through. We don't have a choice." Rex walked to the edge of the ice. Sniffed. Then took a step. Then another. His paws moved with certainty. He turned back. Barked once. "He says it's safe," Madison said. They followed, one by one. Behind them, searchlights swept the woods. Once across, they ducked into a crevice beneath the rocks. Everyone gasped for air. The boy curled beside Rex, pressing into his fur. "Why are they hunting us?" Tyler asked. "Because of what he knows," Madison said, nodding to the boy. "And because Rex is proof they created something they can't control." Harris looked at her. "What now?" Madison checked her watch. "We've got 4 hours until sunrise. We move west. The lab entrance is buried in a ravine near mile marker 213. And if it's still active? Tyler asked. Madison met his gaze. Then we shut it down. For good. Rex rested beside the boy. Snow dusted his fur. His eyes never left the tree line. The fight wasn't over. Not yet. They moved fast through the tree line, Rex taking the lead. The boy, now stronger but still silent, stayed close to Madison. Harris scanned their back every few steps. Tyler clutched his rifle tighter than before. We're close, Madison said. The old service hatch should be just beyond that ridge. How do you even remember this stuff? Tyler asked. Because I built it. Rex suddenly stopped. He sniffed to the wind, ears twitching. What is it? Harris whispered. Rex turned, teeth bared. A single figure stepped into view from the shadows. Snow crackled under his boots. He wore a grey tactical jacket, unmarked. A familiar one. Dr. Whitaker? Madison's voice cracked. He smiled. Calm. Cold. Still sharp, Maddie. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. You're behind this. Tyler stepped forward, raising his weapon. Lower it, Whitaker warned. Or none of you leave this mountain. You worked on Project Sentinel, Madison said, shaking. You were part of the team. You helped me. And I kept it going. After they shut it down. The boy whimpered, grabbing Madison's hand. Rex moved in front of them, growling deep. We found something extraordinary, Whitaker said. A bond between neural instinct and canine drive. Rex was our masterpiece, until you let him go. He's not yours, Madison snapped. You trained him like a machine. He chose empathy. Whitaker's face darkened. You still don't get it. We were saving lives. What's one dog's will compared to national security? No one made you hunt children to do it. Silence. Then Whitaker lifted a small remote. You step 1 foot closer to that hatch, I collapse the ravine. No one gets inside. Why are you protecting it? Harris asked. I'm not. I'm preserving it. This isn't just about Rex anymore. You think he's unique? He's just the prototype. You've seen what the boy can do. Madison's voice dropped. You were experimenting on them too. Not just them. Us. It's evolution, Maddie. And you're standing in the way. Without warning, Rex lunged. Whitaker jumped back, pressing the remote. Boom. The earth shook. Snow exploded upward. A section of the ridge collapsed into a deafening roar. Rex tackled Whitaker midair, both of them tumbling over the edge. Rex! Madison screamed. She ran to the edge, wind whipping her coat. The snow had settled. No movement. I don't see him, Tyler shouted. Then, a bark. Sharp. Strong. From below, Rex appeared on a ledge standing over Whitaker's motionless body. He limped, but he stood. He's alive, Harris said. Madison scrambled down with a rope. Reaching Rex, she checked him for wounds. You're insane, she whispered. You absolute maniac. Rex licked her glove. They pulled both Rex and Whitaker up. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Leave him, Tyler muttered. No, Madison said. He faces justice. Harris bound Whitaker's hands. What about the hatch? Still intact, Madison replied. He didn't know the full layout. They found the entrance beneath a sheet of ice. Madison punched in an old code. It blinked green. Inside, a long hallway greeted them. Metal. Cold. Silent. The boy froze. This is where they kept us, he said, voice barely audible. Not anymore, Madison promised. They moved through the facility, finding abandoned labs, shattered computers, and scorched walls. Signs of a cover-up. But buried in the main server room, Madison found it. a hard drive still intact. "This has everything," she said, holding it up. "Training logs, genetic data, subject files." "We leak it?" Harris asked. "We publish it. Real names, real crimes." A low whimper caught their attention. In the back room, they found a cage. Inside, another German shepherd. Younger, scarred. His eyes lit up at the sight of Rex. "Another one," Tyler breathed. Rex stepped closer. The two dogs sniffed each other, then pressed foreheads. "They remember," Madison said. They freed the second dog and left the facility. The sky outside was pinking with dawn. They hiked back toward the river, quiet, exhausted, but changed. "You did good, Rex," Harris said, rubbing his head. Rex wagged once, then looked toward the boy. The boy knelt, wrapping his arms around both dogs. "What do we tell the world?" Tyler asked. Madison looked ahead. "The truth. And after that?" She glanced down at Rex. "We start something new. Protection. Accountability. No more secrets." They walked on. Snow fell lightly. The facility collapsed behind them. The past was buried. But Rex's mission wasn't over. It had just begun. The news hit hard. By noon the next day, a leaked image of Rex standing over Whitaker's unconscious body had gone viral. The caption read, "Canine Hero Uncovers Government Conspiracy." The internet exploded. But with fame came danger. Madison, Harris, Tyler, and the boy, now calling himself Leo, were already miles from the facility, holed up in a borrowed ranger cabin deep in the Yukon woods. No cell signal, just cold air and silence. Rex paced the doorway, alert. The second dog, dubbed Bolt by Leo, stuck close to him. "Satellite pings will find this place," Harris said, tossing another log into the stove. "We have about 48 hours before they start sending cleanup crews." Madison replied, scrolling through files on her laptop. "They'll want to erase all of it, again." Tyler leaned against the window. "We should have dumped that drive straight to a live broadcast. And let it get dismissed as AI-generated?" Madison shook her head. "No, we need a witness. Someone with a badge." Leo stirred from the couch, voice quiet. "There's one." Everyone looked at him. He pointed to Rex. "Not just him. There was a woman. Agent. She helped me once, gave me food, told me to run if I ever heard the word Sentinel again." Madison blinked. "Do you remember her name?" He nodded. "Sloan." Harris stood. "I know her. Dana Sloan. Department of Homeland Security, quiet, clean record. She's the one," Madison said. "If she helped Leo, she's not part of Whitaker's crew." They packed fast, hard drive, gear, food. "Denver field office," Harris said. "She's based there. It'll take a day." 2, Madison corrected. "We can't fly with Rex and Bolt, and we sure as hell aren't risking a digital trail." They left before dawn. As they crossed the state line, Rex began to whine low in his throat. "What is it, buddy?" Tyler asked. Bolt let out a sharp bark. From the trees behind them, headlights flared. Black SUVs. "No tags," Harris muttered. "Company men." Madison slammed the wheel left, off-road. The tires bounced over frozen brush. Leo braced himself between the dogs. Harris rolled down the window, returning fire as the SUVs followed. "We can't outrun them." "Not the plan!" Madison shouted. They cut across an old trail and swerved into an abandoned logging camp. "Split up," she ordered. "Meet back at the gas station off Route 90. 2 hours." They jumped out. Rex took off into the fog with Leo and Bolt. Tyler and Harris darted left, drawing attention. Madison ducked into a collapsed tool shed, laptop hugged to her chest. Gunfire cracked in the distance. Then quiet. Breathing hard, she checked her signal. 1 bar. Enough. She opened a secure line. Typed. Sloan. Need eyes. Name drop. Sentinel. Bring truth. Then she waited. Minutes crawled. A new ping lit the screen. Meet me. 11 p.m., Roosevelt Overpass. Come alone. Bring the dog. No name. No signature. But Madison knew. By the time she regrouped with the others, Tyler had a bloodied shoulder and Bolt was limping, but they were alive. Sloan replied. She said, "It's tonight." At exactly 10:59 p.m., Madison and Rex waited under the overpass. A car pulled up. Dana Sloan stepped out. Late 40s, sharp eyes, no uniform. "You brought him," she said. "Rex saved that boy's life," Madison replied. "Now we need you to help save everyone else's." Sloan looked at Rex. He stared back, ears forward. She stepped closer, knelt. "I remember you," she whispered. "You bit my partner the night Leo escaped. I should have known then you weren't like the others." "He's more than that," Madison said. "He's the key." Sloan stood, nodded. "Follow me." In her car, Sloan opened a hidden compartment. Inside, a burner laptop. Secure connection. Government login. "Upload everything here," she said. "It'll bypass the mainframe, straight to the House Oversight Committee. They'll have to investigate publicly." Madison hesitated. "What's the catch?" Sloan looked her dead in the eye. "The second you press send, they'll come after all of us. You ready for that?" Madison glanced at Rex. He's been ready since the day they tried to erase him. She hit send. Within seconds, encrypted files flew across the dark web. Inside the car, a red dot blinked. "They know," Sloan said. From above, the whir of a drone. Then another. "We need to move, now!" Rex growled. The hunt was back on. But this time, the truth was already out. The safe house was burning. The wind howled through shattered windows, embers whipping into the frozen trees. Madison, Leo, Rex, and Bolt ducked low, escaping through the rear as gunfire lit the front. "Where's Sloan?" Madison gasped, dragging Leo behind a snow-covered stump. "Didn't follow us," Leo said. She stayed. From the smoke, Rex emerged, teeth bared, blood on his flank. He turned once, scanning the flames, then sprinted ahead. Madison didn't ask. She followed. Behind them, the explosion cracked the sky. The safe house was gone. They ran. 10 miles west, Tyler and Harris waited at the fallback point, the back of a gutted diner on the edge of an abandoned ski town. "She's late," Harris muttered. Tyler peered down the icy road. "You hear that?" It wasn't a car. It was paws. Rex and Bolt burst from the woods. Madison and Leo stumbled after. Tyler pulled them in, slammed the door. "You were followed?" "No time," Madison panted. Sloan stayed back. "She gave us the window." Leo held up a flash drive. "This has everything. Names, codes, lab sites. They didn't scrub it all." Harris took it, eyes wide. "Where did you find this?" "Drone wreckage," Madison said. "Rex led us to it." Tyler knelt by Rex, wiping the blood from his coat. "You okay, boy?" Rex leaned into him, exhausted but alert. "We need to move," Madison said. "They'll circle back once the flames settle." "Where to?" Harris asked. "There's one shot," Madison replied. "Public. Visible. Broadcast center in Boise. Live feed. If we go quiet again, They'll bury this. Harris shook his head. They'll expect that. They'll be waiting. Let them, Madison said. Rex has a nose. Bolt too. We won't go in blind. Boise was locked down. Black SUVs outside the media tower. Armed agents on the roof. Inside the broadcast van, the air was tense. Madison, Leo, and the dogs crouched behind racks of cables. Tyler and Harris prepped the feed. You sure about this? Harris asked. Madison nodded. We stream, we win. Truth goes viral. A soft knock on the van door. Everyone froze. Rex growled low. It's me, came a voice. Sloane. She was bruised, bleeding, but alive. They hit me with rubber rounds, she said, sliding inside. Didn't expect me to get back up. Madison stared at her. Why come back? Because you were right, Sloane said. And because of him. She looked at Rex. That dog did more for this country than half the people wearing a badge. She handed over a badge of her own. DHS, now broken in half. Let's end this. The feed went live. Madison stepped into frame, Leo beside her. Rex sat proudly at their feet, eyes locked on the camera. My name is Madison Cole, she began. This is Leo, and this, she paused, looking down, is Rex, and he's the reason any of us are still alive. Then she told the story. About the boy they tried to erase. About the government's failed experiment. About the dog bred for war, who chose to protect instead. Live footage rolled of Rex sniffing out fentanyl labs, rescuing Leo, bringing down mercenaries. The view count surged. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Then came the first comment. Where do we send support? Then another. Rex is a hero. And another. Name the people who did this. The feed cut. Power blown. We've got company, Tyler shouted. Outside, SUVs were closing in. Gunmen stepped out. We're not leaving, Leo said. Rex stood in front of him. Bolt beside him. Madison stepped forward. They'll have to go through us. But they didn't. From across the street, sirens flared. Police, media vans, protesters, cameras. Whitaker's men backed off. Too public now. Sloane raised her phone. I leaked it 20 minutes ago. Full report. Names, lab photos, the works. Harris grinned. Hell of a way to resign. Whitaker's convoy peeled away. They were done hiding. Rex barked once. Loud. Commanding. The world was listening now. 6 months later. The snow had melted from the peaks. The air in Boise was warm, soft with late spring. At the edge of a quiet neighborhood, a small crowd gathered beneath a simple wooden sign. It read, Rex Initiative, K9 Recovery and Protection Center. A line of children stood holding flags. Veterans in uniform watched from the back. Cameras flashed. But Rex didn't flinch. He stood beside Leo, his ears up, his posture proud. Bolt sat nearby, already chewing on a tennis ball. Madison adjusted the mic. We started this because of a dog, she said. Not just any dog. A German shepherd who was abandoned, forgotten, and left to die. But instead, he lived. He fought. And he saved lives. A ripple of applause. She continued. Today, Rex isn't just a hero. He's a symbol. For every service dog left behind. For every voice silenced by corruption. This center will give them another chance, and it starts right here. She stepped back. Let Leo speak. He was taller now, stronger, but his voice still carried the soft trace of a boy who knew what it meant to be hunted. I didn't know what family was, he said. Not until Rex found me. He never gave up. Even when people did, even when I almost did. He looked down at the shepherd beside him. He never saw me as a problem. Just a kid who needed someone. Then came the tears, not from him, from the crowd. Because in that moment, it wasn't about politics or secrets or the past. It was about loyalty, healing, and the kind of silent love only a dog like Rex could give. From the back, Sloane approached. No cameras, she warned. Too late, Madison smirked. Sloane handed her an envelope. What's this? Full pardon. Leo's now in the system. New name, new record, and you're officially off the watch list, for now. Madison opened it, stared at the seal. You pulled strings. I cut them. It was time. Behind them, Bolt barked once, tail wagging. From the press row, someone shouted, Can we see Rex do something? Leo smiled. He turned to Rex, snapped twice. Rex launched forward, leapt onto a stack of crates, stood tall, barked, just once. The crowd roared. Rex returned to Leo's side, calm as ever. That night, as the crowd cleared and the lights dimmed, Rex lay beside Leo on the porch. Stars blinked above. You think they'll come back? Leo asked quietly. Madison leaned against the railing. They always do, but this time, we're ready. Rex raised his head, listened to the wind. No matter what happens next, Madison said, this place is safe, because of him. Bolt snored softly nearby. Harris pulled up in his Jeep. Training class in the morning. Got 2 new pups coming in, both ex-K9, both dumped after service. We'll take them. Madison replied. Always. Across the country, donations rolled in. People shared their own stories, photos, messages. My shepherd saved my daughter. K9s deserve more. Rex is a hero. The story never really ended, because every week someone new showed up at the gates, sometimes with a dog, sometimes with a memory, sometimes just to say thank you. Rex never turned anyone away, and neither did they. In the world we live in, loyalty is rare. Courage is silent. Heroes wear fur. Rex reminded us what really matters. What's your story with a loyal pet? Tell us. Join our community. Follow the Rex initiative and help us protect every forgotten hero, because no good dog should ever be left behind.